Okay, today I'm going to teach you how to slow cook this Italian family stew. It's got wild boar, rabbit, sausages served over a creamy polenta. Let's get into it. Okay, I was hoping that we were going to cook outside tonight, but it's kind of on and off, raining a bit. Sun's starting to sneak out still. I'll keep this short. We got a big dinner to cook. I'm going to go through this a little bit more step by step. Let's get going. Okay, so we've got our celery, carrots that I'm going to peel, big yellow onion, a couple cloves of garlic. I got some more too. Oh, you'll notice, like in my house, if I don't take this luxurious cheese and write literally the word nope on it, my son will eat it. So that's how we sort things out around here. So let me, I'm gonna dice the celery and the onion super fine. The carrot, I like the carrots a little bit big and chunky. Kind of don't want to feel celery or onion in my mouth. I do want mouthfeel on carrots. So let's dice these up. Okay, so here's how I like to do it. Bigger chunks in the carrots, relatively finely diced onions, finely diced celery. So I'll get that set aside and we're gonna start to season our meat and start to sear that off. Okay, so we got the boar broken down. We're just gonna season this with salt and some pepper after this, but you really want them in chunks about that size. All right, here's our little half rabbit. I'm just gonna season this off again with salt and pepper, and then we gotta start to sear off all this meat. Okay, so we've got our mirepoix, we've got our seasoned rabbit, the sausages, and our wild boar and pork mix. Let's get searing. Okay, my recipe, when I say, or all my recipes, when I say a couple of glugs of olive oil, this is what it looks like. Almost there. Almost. That's it. Okay, so we got about a tablespoon of juniper berries, a little more than a teaspoon, that's probably a tablespoon of peppercorns. About a half a nutmeg is going to get grated in right into the sauce. You want to sear off the meat like a boar in small batches. You don't want to crowd it. We'll get some nice color on there. And I just take it from here to here. And I put all the seared meats over there. You got it. Okay, and the last of the meat is a rabbit, and it smells absolutely amazing. I know not everyone's down with rabbit, but I encourage you to give it a try. This stuff is fantastic. Okay, and then goes the veggies. Okay, let's come back to this little table. So in addition to the juniper berries, the peppercorn, the nutmeg, we've got a bunch of garlic, about 3 or 4 bay leaves, whole stems of rosemary, and from my garden, some fresh sage. As soon as we get everything else in there, this stuff all makes an appearance. So we're just stirring the veggies like this. We want to scrape up all that caramelization from browning the meats. And as you sweat out, it doesn't come off right away. As you sweat out the onions and the celery and the carrots, it releases liquid, and that will help take it all off. Okay, we've got a whole small can of tomato paste in there. Just going to incorporate that in. You'll notice that I've also added the garlic. I like to do that right at the end after the veggies have all sweated out. I don't want them to burn ever. Okay, I'm taking about, that's about a third of this bottle. You want to use wine that you want to drink. I'm just going to dump the rest of this in. Okay, juniper berries, right in. Peppercorns, right in. Okay, it was too much work to get the tripod out and everything to show me grating this, and you know how to grate nutmeg. That's about as much as left, and I'm just going to use a bench knife to pick that up and dump it right in. So, if you follow me, you know that I have almost had 200 jars of these after last summer. We're going to use 2 jars of this in the sauce tonight. For all Substock members, there's going to be a very long post towards the end of the summer on how to jar your own tomatoes, because it was intimidating for me the first time I ever did it. So I figured I'm going to do a whole how-to on how to stretch the summer out all through until the next summer, because that's exactly what these are. This is opening a jar of summer. I mean, look at these things. Gorgeous tomatoes. All right. Okay, so now we've added the sauce and the tomato puree and all the veggies. I'm already making a big fucking mess. I know I said in the recipe to add the meats back in first, but that is incorrect. I'm going to update the recipe. I'm going to add the sauce in so you can incorporate all the flavors, and then we're going to add the meats back in. That's the easiest thing to do with one hand. Okay. Now we can just gently incorporate all the meats into the sauce. We're going to add all in the herbs, and we are good to go. We're going to leave this for a couple hours while I go restock the bar, because hooligans are coming over tonight. Okay. I just throw these in whole because then it'll fall off the stem. I'll pull those out. Same with the sage. I know many of you think you can skip the bay leaf because, like, what does this bay leaf taste like? What's that movie? Like The Big Lebowski with his rug. It ties the whole room together. That's what these things do. They pull all the flavors together. It just creates a real depth of flavor. So do not skip your bay leaves. Okay, so here's my fat trifecta for the polenta. This fucking insane butter that my brother brought me. This is like literally hand-rolled butter from just outside sort of the Cambridge Kitchener area. The Nope cheese, otherwise known as taleggio, and Parmigiano Reggiano. I get this at Costco. Like, it's 25 bucks for something the size of a cinder block. So big ups to Costco. All right, I'm back. Okay, so at this point, probably got about 30, 40 more minutes of this to sort of braise down. And I just go in with scissors, wash, obviously, and I cut the sausages in a little bit. So that's sort of the last step. Hard to do one-handed, but you get the idea. Okay, so people came over and I got distracted. We're back on track. We've got the taleggio cut up. I actually reduced how much taleggio I'm going to put in. So this is down to about 180 grams. That is about 100 grams of Parmesan. Always keep the rinds too. I've always got a whole pile of rinds in my freezer. It's great for stock. We'll get into that another day. Anyway, we're ready to make the polenta and we're ready to serve this. Can't wait. So with polenta or grits, you are just always stirring. So even if you put too much water in, or if you're using chicken stock or something, you can always just keep cooking it and reduce it down. So I'm gonna add another at least a cup and a half of water to this because it's already too thick at the start and I like to just thicken it down afterwards. Okay, this is the gratuitous part of the evening. We've got butter and taleggio going in. This is getting close to the consistency. It's a little thick. I'm gonna loosen it up with a little more water. I'm gonna add in the parmesan, and then we're ready to serve. Finally. That's it. This is the consistency you want. Nice and creamy. And again, polenta is really forgiving. You can add water as you need, and if it's too much, you just reduce it down. So traditionally, this dish is served on a great big wooden board, and you put all the polenta spread out all over the board, and you serve the stew right into the middle, and everyone in the family just grabs a spoon and starts digging in. We're not gonna do that here. We'll do it in the bowl. So you take a bowl, make sure the polenta is spread all around, and I'm gonna go serve some stew into it. And this is how it's done. Just a big bowl of cheesy polenta with a big ladle of the stew, hand off a spoon, maybe a little more parmesan, but you don't need it. And this is it. Dig in.